Hey guys, it's Aless. I'm here with...
What's up, guys? It's Z.
And this video, we're going to talk about how everybody is being lied to. So I saw this comment and I wish I saved it, but it was basically how they've studied our minds and institutionalized them, industrialized them, something like that. And they've basically created all these problems out of it, creating the problem to sell us the solution. That is why it's causing a lot of this issue in society and a lot of this divide, because people are fighting and they are very angry at each other over these kind of tribal issues and over these issues that actually were engineered and done on purpose to make people mad at each other. But people don't want to seem to look at the bigger picture there. People tend to assume what other people want, and they tend to think that everybody is some sort of a monolith, or that us as humans, a lot of us, or actually most of us, want the same thing, and we're actually more similar than we think. They've just made us believe that we're so different and that we need to all be kind of judged differently and treated way differently, and this divide. When I see a lot of these videos on YouTube, when I see how the world treats each other and protests and people being angry, it's always all blaming another group of people rather than looking inwards at what we're doing as individuals, what we're doing wrong, and to take the personal responsibility rather than always trying to find a group to blame and always trying to find a narrative to run with, when maybe it's just something in ourselves we need to fix. I don't know what I'm going to put for the title yet, but remember, I have to do titles in a certain way for this platform, but this applies to anything. We are very, very divided over stupid things, and we also need to look at what we have in common and not always just rush to fight one another for our egos to feel like we've done something and we've accomplished something.
Yeah, men and women, you guys been lied to. Sorry, it's a bitter pill to swallow, but as you know, conflict sells. Peace is boring. Everyone is online nowadays. Algorithms that don't care about healthy relationships. They just care about you engaging and how the video is gonna do. And of course, drama and this negativity feeds into this machine, these algorithms, right?
And you can
So
tell based on like the view counts I get on specific videos, like you can tell what gets pushed, what doesn't.
yeah, and pain gets generalized, right? Either if it's by a man or a woman. You guys have been lied to. It shrinks how complex us humans are, right? Because men aren't a monolith, women aren't a monolith, and you can't just be going over here calling all men are predators and all women are manipulative and all this mumbo jumbo ideas, right?
Yeah, like what are
And
we doing as a society? What are we doing to go against each other? There is a bigger enemy. There's bigger fish to fry.
exactly. Remember that these ideas also ignore biology and individuality. They erase nuance, and like we've said before, nuance is where empathy lives. Gray areas need a lot of emotional maturity.
Exactly, and that's the thing. I'm not trying to make this video like my other videos and always say, guys gotta hear nuance, you guys gotta hear other voices, but something bigger, that we are all being lied to and manipulated. And for example, what I grew up with, I grew up with a lot of feeds and with a lot of people in my ear, like you growing up saying men are this way and people are this way, you got to be careful, you got to watch out, you're gonna get kidnapped, all this kind of stuff. And then I grew up with this kind of fear in my head that I had to unlearn, and I know other people grew up with other different kinds of narratives and fears that were put into their heads. We have to realize a lot of the strategies that they're doing and a lot of these tactics they're using and what they're pushing, like a lot of these, like E was saying, these feeds, and I want to remind you guys, are always pushing negativity. They're pushing this fear just so you see the bad, and then you bring that onto people's lives, and lives like their actual life, not like live streams. That too, okay? Like you bring a lot of negativity into people's lives, and you put this hostile environment out. And look, it's not toxic positivity. If anything, I would argue that's toxic negativity. It's too much. It's too, like, oh, you have to realize like the bigger picture out of all this. But it's not easy for everybody to comprehend because the rabbit hole goes deep, and it's even hard for me to like see and fathom how deep this rabbit hole really goes, and how they've studied people and how the feeds are and how they know, like they just know you, they know your weaknesses, they know your triggers, they know stuff like this, and that's how they take advantage. And then you guys really, and then y'all think it's just a certain group, and y'all think that no, it's really, look at the bigger picture out of this. And also, who's studying y'all? If you go down the rabbit hole, you'll see it goes really deep, and we really just have to work together.
The solution isn't pretending differences don't exist. It's this simple thing that transcends. It's teaching emotional intelligence to boys and girls. It's modeling healthy partnerships in the family dynamic. Looking at media and critically thinking instead of emotionally.
Keyword critically think.
Yeah. Like we said before, right? The loudest voices are rarely the healthiest ones, and they're always that's why they're the loudest.
The loud minority.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's all that gets pushed. So then people think things are really like that. And that's why sometimes like all these things are confusing when people are like, most are this way, most are that way. I'm like, really? But where y'all getting this from? Is this an online thing? Are you guys just watching extreme channels? Like, what is this, right? I'm talking in all senses, right? Like people will see what's getting fed to them, and then now all of a sudden they jump to conclusions rather than looking more into this stuff. I want you guys to pause and just read this for a second. I think this is really important and actually explains things really well. And I think it's pretty relevant for this video, so just take a look at this. This stuff really does go very, very deep, and I guess that's for another day, or it's for you guys to go deep in the rabbit hole, because it goes deep. It really goes deep. So with that being said, I do want to thank you guys so much for supporting and for always supporting and being there for each other. That's why we want to create this authentic space that people can talk in without feeling like no one cares. We do care, and people do care. I really want to help you guys, and even like we just want to create a space because we know what it feels like to not feel heard and to feel misunderstood, to feel alone. So I want to thank you guys for being here and welcome anybody that's new to this channel. And yeah, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys. And don't fall for the lie.